Good morning, students.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So today is Friday, and I told you that we will discuss that tutorial sessional also. So in the last 15 minutes, we will discuss it. So in this lecture, we will do the last method. Means we were solving the system of linear equation by using the iterative methods. And first one we have discussed the Jacobi. Jacobi actually we have discussed the Jacobi only for the to show that Gauss-Seidel is a better than Jacobi method. So no need to do the questions of Jacobi method. So just try the questions of Gauss-Seidel method and this last method, that is SOR. So we have discussed the Gauss-Seidel method. So now we come to our next method, that is SOR method. So SOR is full form is successive over relaxation method. Relaxation method. This is SOR. So actually, in this method, we will use a relaxation factor here. We will.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we had to discuss the quiz also.
Yeah, in the last, we discuss this method, then we come
Okay,
to
ma'am.
the tutorial. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, actually, we introduce we add a relaxation factor in this. That we can call it lambda. Sorry, not lambda, omega. So that value will be given to you. So this is given in the question. And basically, in successive over relaxation method, we take the weighted average of, this is a weighted average between the previous iterations. Means suppose I am taking xk plus 1. I am finding a k plus 1th iteration vector. So it is a weighted average between the previous iterates, that is xk, and computed Gauss-Seidel iteration. Gauss-Seidel iterates. So means a new of Gauss-Seidel. So we take weighted average of these two. So then new resultant value will become a k plus 1th iteration of successive over relaxation method. So successively in each component. For each component. So like what we do in this, first we take the Gauss-Seidel method only. So Gauss-Seidel method, what is Gauss-Seidel? Is I k plus 1, which is equal to 1 by aii, if you know its general form. It's bi minus, we have used two summation in this, j equal to 1 to I minus 1, aij, and here we have taken k plus 1th iterations, and minus j is equal to I plus 1 to n, aij, then there are previous iterations. So this is Gauss-Seidel method. So this is the k plus 1th iteration components of the Gauss-Seidel method. So now we will now to find the iterations in SOR. So now what we do, xi k plus 1. So we take xi k means it's the previous iteration. So if k is equal to 0, suppose, so then you can assume this value. This is the initial guess. So plus omega times, so I take xi k plus 1 minus xi k. So difference of these two. So basically what it will be 1 minus omega Means if I combine these two, it will be xik plus omega xik plus 1. So here you can see, means this is xik plus 1 in terms of xik plus 1, but this is the component from, means this is the iterations from Gauss Seidel. We will pick all the components from the Gauss Seidel in the right hand side. So then that will gives you the k plus 1th iteration of the SOR method. Means here we will take xik plus 1, which is equal to 1 minus omega. So this is the previous iteration of SOR only, xik plus omega. So here you put xik plus 1 value. So this is 1 by aii bi minus, then j equal to 1 to k minus 1, sorry, I minus 1 aij xj k plus 1. So this is SOR method. Means you remember this formula. No need to do anything. Omega will be given to you, and you just use this formula, because up to this is the Gauss Seidel only, and you have to multiply it by this omega, means this method with omega, and then add one term also. So this is the extra thing you have to do. Actually, SOR will gives you, if suppose I'm using Gauss Seidel method on any system of linear equation, and then I am using SOR method. So that will actually we are using this omega to get a better approximation, means to get a faster convergence. So that's why we are using this omega here to get a faster convergence. Suppose with the same accuracy you are getting the solution, approximate solution in 7 iterations, then SOR will gives you in 4 iterations only. So that is the benefit of the SOR method.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, below the line where you've written to find iteration in SOR. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
this equation which you have written, ma'am, if I take xi raised to power k, xi kth iteration to the left hand side, ma'am, so it will get cancelled. It will, like, the term will not get
Yes.
cancelled.
Actually, this xik plus 1, this xik plus 1, and this xik plus 1 both are not same actually. This is from the Gauss Seidel method. Gauss Seidel iteration.
And left one is of this SOR method.
Yes. Yes. This is
Okay.
the iterations from SOR.
Okay.
Basically, you can skip this left hand side. First I'm taking the previous iteration of SOR, then plus omega times this expression. Means this is an error actually. This is a residual vector. Xik plus 1 minus xik.
Ma'am, and the next term also is of Gauss Seidel xi in the bracket omega into, no ma'am, of xi kth iteration above this, ma'am.
This is of the SOR iteration.
Okay.
Previous iteration of SOR. Actually, here we are taking k plus 1th iteration of Gauss Seidel. Then we are comparing this iteration with the previous iteration of SOR. And we are finding the error between these two. Then we are taking the weighted average.
Okay.
Yes. So here we have taken SOR. So omega, that is a relaxation factor actually. So if I take omega is less than 1, so then it is called under relaxation method. Actually, this is not in your syllabus. So if omega is equal to 1, so when omega will be 1, so then what will happen? You can see from the method only, 1 minus 1 will become 0 and 1. So it will reduces to the Gauss Seidel only. So omega equal to 1, this is nothing but Gauss Seidel method. So that's why in SOR, we take generally omega greater than 1. So this is SOR. Okay. Actually, there is a benefit of under relaxation method also. When Gauss-Seidel method fails, then in that case, under relaxation method will also work. But successive over relaxation will also work when Gauss-Seidel fails, and it will give you the faster convergence also. So there is a double benefit of the successive over relaxation method. So now how we can see when you are applying the SOR method on a system of linear equation, and you will get the sequences of the vector. Means suppose I'm taking initial guess, then I am applying SOR, then I will get x1, then x2. Means this is a sequence. So what is a condition on the system of linear equation, that the sequence generated from the successive over relaxation method will always converge to a unique solution. So there is a condition here. Before that, we have to define one term, that is positive definite. So a matrix is positive definite if it is symmetric. You know what is symmetric? Means if I'm taking a matrix is symmetric, then it's A transpose is equal to A only. And if each of its leading principal submatrices has a positive determinant, so then we will say it is a positive definite matrix. So what is the meaning of leading principal submatrices? Leading principal means if I'm taking any A matrix, suppose it is general A matrix A1n, so leading principal means submatrices. I'm taking the submatrices. So first matrix is 1 1, means this is of 1 cross 1 order, and second is 2 cross 2 order, A1 1 1 2 A2 1 then 2 2. So then third is, then we take three rows and 3 columns, A1 1 A1 2 A1 3, and then A3 1 A3 2 A3 3, means there will be A2 1 A2 2 A2 3 also. So these are the principal submatrices. So if I find the determinant of these all the matrices, so it should be positive. Then we will say this A matrix will be positive definite matrix, and it should be symmetric also. So now, for example, if I say this is a positive definite matrix, so how is it a positive definite? First of all, we check it is symmetric or not. So let us take its transpose. So it is transpose means you write all the rows into the column. You transfer into the column 2 minus 1 0, then minus 1 2 minus 1, then 0 minus 1 2. So it is nothing but A only. So this means asymmetric. Asymmetric matrix. So now find its leading principal, then its determinants also. So here 2 is greater than 0, and then we find determinant of 2 minus 1, then minus 1 2, means this is symmetric. First of all, we are taking this matrix, then we are taking this matrix, then we will take full matrix. So it is 4 minus 1, it is 3, which is also positive. So now we take 3 cross 3 matrix, 2 minus 1 0, minus 1 2 minus 1, then 0 minus 1 2. So it find its determinant 2 into 4 minus 1, then plus 1 into minus 2, then plus 0. So it will be 3 into 6 minus 2, then it is 4, which is positive. So which is positive, so it means all the determinants are positive here. So you can say it is a positive definite. So now what is the use of positive definite matrix here? So that it is a use in the convergence conditions of the for the SOR method. So if A is a positive definite matrix, and we are taking the relaxation factor which lies between 0 to 2, then SOR method converges for any choice of initial approximate vector x naught here. So suppose I'm taking the system of linear equation here, and if A is a positive definite matrix, means first of all you have to check that whether it is a positive definite matrix or not. Then your relaxation vector will also be lies between 0 to 2. Then the SVR method will converge for any initial approximation vector. So then you will get the convergence. So now come to the question.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
अगर डिटर्मिनेंट 0 आ जाए तो फिर वो पॉजिटिव मैट्रिक्स होगा, लाइक पॉजिटिव डेफिनेट.
No, it will not be positive, because zero, if I'm taking a 0, so then it means you are taking a you are saying it will be a non-negative terms. Positive means it should be greater, strictly greater than 0.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So solve the following linear system using SOR method with omega is equal to 1.25 and x naught is equal to 111. This is the initial approximation, and you have to iterate until 10 raised to minus 1. So this is just a little smaller than that, smaller difference tolerance. So 4x1 plus 3x2, this is 3 equation 3 unknown, which has an exact solution 3, 4, minus 5. So write the equations. So this is your first equation, second equation, and third equation. So write x1 from the first equation. So the procedure will be same in the SOR also, but you have to write the the equation according to the SOR methods only. So from equation 1, I will write x1, which is 24 minus 3x2 divided by 1 by 4. Then x2 will be 30 minus 3x1 plus x3 and divide by 1 by 4. And x3, before that you can check the conditions also. So just check the conditions also. Minus 24 plus x2. So what will be the matrix here? A is equal to 4, 3, 0, 3, 4, minus 1, and 0, minus 1, 4. So is it symmetric matrix? Yes, its transpose is equal to A only. And what about its leading principal? Means 4 is greater than 0. And if I take 3, 4. So it is 16 minus 9, which is also positive. And if I find its determinant of 4, 3, 0, 3, 4, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 4. So it will be 4 into 16 minus 1 minus 3 into 12 plus 0. Is it positive? 15, 60, and then you are getting 36. It is positive, yes. So it is this matrix is the positive definite. So it means if you are taking any initial guess in the SOR method, your method will always converge. So now we have taken these conditions, but here we have to add omega also. So write omega x1 k plus 1. It will be it will be the coefficient of 1 minus omega into x1 k, that will be previous iteration, plus omega times by 4 into 24 minus 3x2. Then x2 k plus 1 will be 1 minus omega into x2 k, and here it will be omega, means here you have to multiply by omega only. Omega by 4, 30 minus 3x1 plus x3, and x3 k plus 1 will become 1 minus omega. Here you can put the omega value also. X3 k omega by 4 minus 24 plus x2. And here you have to use xk plus 1. You have to update all the values here, x3k and x2k plus 1. So now put omega value. Omega is equal to, omega is given to you 1.25. So here it will become x1 k plus 1. Suppose I'm taking k equal to 0 also. So let us take k equal to 0. So you will get the first component of the first iteration. So you will get minus 0.25 x1 0 1.25 by 4 24 minus 3 into x2 0. So here you put all the values. X1 0 is what? It is 1 1 1 only. So you put minus 0.25 into 1 plus 1.25 by 4 24 minus 3. So it will be, if I calculate this, it will be 6.3125. And similarly, you can find x2 1.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, how did we know the first iteration of this successive over relaxation? Sorry, zeroth iteration.
Zeroth iteration is given, na? Because our initial vector is given to you.
Okay.
Yes, it is given actually. Given initial, yes. I should write it here. Like in Gauss also, you have given a initial vector.
Yes.
This is 1 1 1. So that's why I have taken x1 equal to 1, x2 equal to 1, and x3 not equal to 1. So like here, minus 0.25 x2 0 plus 1.25 divided by 4, 30 minus 3 into, now you will use the updated value here. So 6.3125 plus rest is the previous one, it is 1. So after calculating this, you are getting 3.5195. And similarly, you can find x3 1, that is minus 0.25 into x3 naught 1.25 by 4 minus 24 plus x2, sorry, that will be the new one, 3.5195. So here you will calculate minus 6.6502. So this is the first iteration here. So x1 is vector, that is an first iteration you're getting. It is 6.3125, 3.5195, and minus 6.6502. So again, you apply the procedure, you will get x2. So I can write it directly. x2 by using the SOR again, by taking k equal to 1, omega will be same. And then you will use these new iteration, the previous iteration, sorry. So then you will get the second iteration as 2.6223 and 3.9585 minus 4.6004. So if you compare these two, x1 minus x2, so don't forget to use norm here. So it is maximum norm. So iterate until you get 10 raised to minus 1. So it is 10 raised to minus 1. So there you stop. That will be your answer. Obviously, it is not a good approximation because we are iterating until this accuracy only. It is 0.1 accuracy. So this is your answer. Any doubt in this SOR method?
Ma'am, at what step the accuracy is less than 1 by 10 in the norm?
We can find this. Yes. If I find maximum of, let us find 6.3125. Okay, it is not. Yes. It is 2. 2.6223. Yes, it is not. Yes. So it is 3.5195 minus 3.9585 and minus 6.6502 plus 4.6004. Yes, it is not less than 10 raised to minus 1 yet, because here you can see the difference. It is approximately 4. So here you have to find the third iteration also. This is not answer. Can you complete this question yourself?
Yes.
Yes. So actually you have to use the formula only. Once you know the formula, you can proceed it yourself also. So it needs practice actually. So then you perform first 4 iteration of Gauss Seidel and SOR. Gauss Seidel you have to use as it is, and in SOR you have to use omega with 1.1, the following linear system of equation. Then compare both the iterations. So do this question and sorry. So can you do this question? Means any doubt in Gauss Seidel and SOR methods?
Ma'am, omega that would be given to us
Yeah,
will be always between.
always will be between 0 to 2 only. Yes. No,
Okay.
sorry, greater than 1. It will be greater than 1 and less than 2.
Ma'am, greater than 1 is also necessary.
Actually, for greater than 1, it will be SOR method. Na? But if you take less than 1, that is under relaxation method.
Okay.
Then if you take simple omega equal to 1, then it will be Gauss Seidel only.
Okay.
Yes. So next we have this matrix norm. Actually, we have used the vector norm. So like we will discuss, now we will discuss the matrix norm also. Means how to find the distance of A matrix with the zero matrix. Actually, matrix norm define the magnitude of the matrix only, nothing else. So a matrix norm on a set of n cross n matrix is the real valued function. It is also a function defined on this set satisfying all the n cross n matrices. Suppose I'm taking a x here and 2 are just a real number. Means x is a space here which contains n cross n types of a matrix, n cross n order of the matrices. Means if I'm taking any elements from this x, so then it will be n cross n matrix. So here we are taking 2 matrices and all real numbers alpha. So if any function satisfy these 5 properties, then you will say it is a norm. So norm of A is greater than equal to 0. This is first property. Norm of A equal to 0 if and only if A is itself a 0. 0 means 0 matrix. And third is alpha. Alpha is just a real number. If you multiply it by matrix with alpha, then it will come outside with mode alpha. And fourth one is mode norm of A plus B is less than equal to norm of A plus norm of B. And fifth is norm of A into B is less than equal to norm of A into norm of B. So it is just a distance between the n cross n matrices A and B with respect to the matrix norm is A minus B. Suppose I can define the distance between the 2 matrices also. So here also we will define 2 norms in L2 norm, in L infinity norm. First we will define L infinity norm, matrix norm in L infinity space. So if A is a matrix here, then L infinity norm is given by A infinity, means norm of A infinity, maximum of summation Aij. So what it is? It is maximum of AI1, AI2, AI3, and so on up to AIN. So here again, I have to take I equal to 1, means it is a maximum of A11 plus A12, then A1N, means that will give you a 1 number by adding absolute values of first row. Then A21, Then you have to add the elements from the second row, A to N, then so on up to last row. So this is your matrix norm, means that will give you a one number that is a real number. So it means norm is a function which is from X to R, and X is a set of which contains all the n cross n matrices. So like when in example, determine A infinity norm for this matrix. So how to find the matrix norm here? So it is maximum of 1 less than I less than equal to 3, because this is a 3 cross 3 matrix, and summation of j equal to 1 to 3 Aij. So it is a maximum of AI1, AI2, AI3. So it means it is basically a mode of this element, then plus mode of this element, plus mode of this element. So then you have to take the maximum. So I can write it directly 1 plus 2 plus minus 1, 0 plus 3 plus minus 1, 5 plus minus 1 plus 1. So it is 6, it is 4, it is 7. So it's normal. Yes.
मैम फर्स्ट वाला 4 आएगा.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So it will be 7. So it means its infinity norm is 7. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the L2 norm also. Means what is L2 norm? Actually, to define L2 norm, we have to define another term also, that is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So you have studied the eigenvalues and eigenvector already now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So then we can easily define it. A2 norm.
मैं last to last slide कर दो.
Yes. This one.
Yes, ma'am. मैं next slide भी कर दूँ.
Yes. Just a minute.
Thank you, ma'am.
Actually, here you have to remember the definitions only. Means what is the how we can define the matrix norm. Okay. So now we come to the tutorial, means that sessional. Where is the problem?
Ma'am,
Yes.
there was one question. G of x equal to 4x into 1 minus x has fixed point at
Yes. Yes.
3 by 4. Ma'am, can you please explain that once?
Yes. Sure. G of x is equal to 4x into 1 minus x. And its fixed point is x is equal to 3 by 4. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And interval is
0.1 to 0.8.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there is a question, option is x is equal to 3 by 4 is a unique fixed point on the interval 0.1 and 0.8. So we can check it by putting 3 by 4. Is it 3 by 4 is a fixed point or not? So 4 into 3 by 4, 1 minus 3 by 4. So it will be 3 into 1 by 4. So it is 3 by 4. So it means it is an exact fixed point. So C is okay. Means C is not wrong. And first one is G of x does not map into itself. It is mapping.
Ma'am, yeah, ma'am, if we will draw the graph, we will see that at 0.5, it is actually going till 1 g of x. So it shouldn't map.
G of 5.5.
Yes, ma'am.
You can put it here only 1 by 2, 1 by 2. It is 1.
So it does not map into itself.
But if I find it's a g dash x, then it will be g of x is 4x minus 4x square, suppose. So it is 4 minus 8x, which is equal to, suppose I take it as a 4 into 1 minus 2x. Is it positive overall or negative overall?
Ma'am, in this domain, it's positive.
It is positive. Because if I'm taking 0.1, it will be positive. If I'm taking 0.8, oh,
At 0.8 negative.
0.8 negative, yes. Because here we cannot say it is overall positive or overall negative.
Ma'am, we can like simply make the graph of g of x. We can see it can go beyond 0.8 also. So can we not say it's not mapping into itself?
Yes, here also we can see means 0.5 is in this interval and it is equal to 1. It is not mapping to itself.
So ma'am, that statement should be correct, na? G of x does not map into itself.
Yes, this is also correct. And what about B? B is also not correct, no?
Ma'am, mod of g dash x. Just ma'am, but if we will take the mod of it, then can we say?
Actually, if I take its g dash x, it is 4 minus 8x. And if I find its value at 0.8, it will be 4 minus 8 into 0.8. It should be less than 1, no? So what it is? Its value is
Minus 2.4.
8 into 0.8. Yes, it is not less than 1. It means this is also not correct.
Ma'am, the statement is true, na? Because the statement itself was saying that the condition violates, condition satisfy nahi ho rahi hai. So statement will be true.
This statement is true. Yes, then A should be the option.
None should be option.
A should be the option, no?
Ma'am,
Oh,
in
so
the question,
A does not maps into itself. Yes, this statement is wrong. Yes, none should be the option. Yes.
ma'am, but I think in the key they have given map into itself is the like answer to this question.
It does not map into itself.
Yes, ma'am. They have marked this one in the form as the correct answer.
Okay, I will discuss it. This question is this statement is correct, and you have to choose the wrong one. है ना?
Wrong one. Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. Okay, I will discuss this question. 10th question is this, no?
Yes.
Any other question?
Ma'am, there was one more question where it was like real number x is approximated as 0.6032 and relative error is at most 0.1%.
Where?
Ma'am, 0.6032 is x.
Yes.
Ma'am, in this one, the right bound.
Yes, actually, there was a mistake in this question. Actually, there was a typo error in the A option. They have forget to put 3, so that
Yes, ma'am.
none of the option is correct.
Ma'am, but they have given the 0.60804 as only correct. Like
Yes,
that
actually,
option.
that we have to revise it. It's D option is correct. That is none.
Okay.
Yes, we have to revise this.
And ma'am, there was one question where we were asked the difference between order of convergence. Can you explain that? How we have to solve it?
Actually, if I check it, it's xk plus 1. It is xk minus p times f of xk divided by its derivative. This will be the iterations. And where p is not
Ma'am?
equal to m. Yes.
Ma'am, first of all, my doubt was like P, they have given any positive number. So
Any
how we can
positive
say
number, yes.
that it will converge?
Yes,
Because-
that's why we cannot say it will converge. It will gives you the convergence of like in Newton method. We suppose this is the Newton method. This is the Newton method. And if I'm putting any random p here, so then it will give you the linear convergence maybe, or it will gives you the quadratic convergence, means like in the Newton method. But you cannot say you will get the higher order convergence with this p.
Ma'am, but how we will get like any convergence, ma'am? Because this is not a formula, na? Like we can't multiply any number. If there are multiple roots, we can multiply m. That would be okay. Or we can use simple formula without any number p. But how we can use any other number p?
Means actually if I'm using this formula, this iteration, at least you will get some sequence now that will gives you a linear convergence maybe. Means I know this is, there is no other any other formula here, means it is not a Newton method, it is not a multiple roots also. So if I am taking any random value, that will gives you a some formula, so that from there that formula you will get some sequence तो मिलेगी ना.
Yes, ma'am.
So you will get some sequence. When you check its convergence, maybe it will not give you the quadratic convergence.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, if we are sure about the m here. If I put multiplicity, then it will give you the quadratic convergence in the case of multiple roots also.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we cannot show, means maybe it will give you the linear convergence or quadratic convergence. But here you will get the quadratic convergence only. So if I say it will give you the 2 order convergence, it will give you the 1 order convergence. So it will be 1.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, that's why.
Ma'am, there was one question related to this LU decomposition. They have asked the determinant of mod A. They have asked determinant A.
Determinant of
A.
can you repeat the question?
Ma'am, let A be a square matrix of order n if A is equal to LU.
Yes, yes.
Then determinant A. Ma'am, how we have to solve this?
Actually, if I am taking A equal to L into U, L, what is L? It is L11. Upper part is, sorry, lower part is non-zero, upper part is 0. L22 and so on into U. It will be U11, 0, 0, 0, U12, U1n. So here you will get 0. So now if I find its determinant A, so only diagonal elements will be multiplied now. L11 into U1, because here you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
So the determinant will be L11 into U11 plus L22 into U22 and so on and so on. Lnn into U1.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, understand.
Sorry, sorry.
Ma'am, and
Actually, they are not multiplied. Actually, this will be the. Here you will first I will find L determinant, then U determinant. Either you first write the determinant of L and then determinant of U, or you can first multiply then find its determinant. It is up to you. So ultimately you will get that means diagonal entries and the diagonal entries of L and U only in the multiplication.
okay. Ma'am, and there was one other question of this Gauss elimination only. They have asked the value of B2 bar. How we have to solve that one?
B2 bar.
What is the value of B2 bar?
So if I have a system of equation Ax is equal to B, and another system we have Cx is equal to B bar, suppose. And B2 will be. B2 means, B2 bar means this is B2 bar, na? Means after the transformation you will get this matrix. यही है ना कि first
Yes, ma'am.
linear equations के ऊपर transforms लगाई, Gauss elimination, then you will get this type of matrix. So this is because of, if I am taking this as a B1, B2, so how we modified this B2 in the terms of B2 bar. So it will be B2 minus क्या होता है formula when we use this formula into second row. So it is A2 1 by A1 1 into B1 na.
Yes, ma'am.
So this will be the formula.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ यही होना था.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, and there was one
टाइम
question.
बहुत सेशनल के लिए मैम 12 to 13 क्वेश्चन मुश्किल से सॉल्व हुए थे मैम 25 मिनट्स में. बाकी क्वेश्चन मैम बाद में किए थे सॉल्व.
Okay.
Ma'am, there was one another. Ma'am, where we were asked that relative error is at most 50%, then what is number of significant figures in digits in floor of X? Floating point representation of X. Sorry. Ma'am, how we have to solve that?
Floating point representation में क्या पूछा था?
Ma'am, there is a number and the relative error is at most 50%. Then we have to tell number of significant digits in floating point representation of it.
Actually, relative error हमने किया ना, relative error. What was the maximum relative error? We have found one formula also in maximum error bound. That was, I think, 1 by 10 raised to 1 minus n less than equal to. This we have already found. Na?
Okay, ma'am.
So here you can say it is 1 by 2, means that is 50%, it is 1 by 2. So from here you can see find n value.
मैम आपने 10 की पावर 1 minus n divided by 2 लिखवाया है मैम.
Divided by 2, हाँ, I was not, I think, sure. 2 हो जाएगा.
मैम 10 की पावर ऊपर आएगा मैम.
Sorry. 10 raised by 1 minus n by 2.
यस मैम.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Ma'am, this is the last one.
मैम टाइम ज्यादा करवा देना मैम.
हाँ, sure.
Ma'am, there was a question of bisection method and the difference between successive midpoints was given. Then we had to find out the number of iterations.
That is okay, because we have already found the maximum error bound, because b minus a by 2 raised to power n, which is less than equal to some epsilon. So here you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
here you can put that epsilon is less than equal to 10 raised to minus 3. So b interval is also given to you. So it is 2 minus 1 by 2 raised to power n less than equal to 10 raised to minus 6.
Ma'am, not this one, ma'am.
Yes.
There was another one. They have given that let m denote the length of initial interval.
Okay, that
A,
is also same. Here also m by 2 raised to power n plus 2 is less than epsilon is given to you. So here you take log both sides, you will get the formula for n.
Ma'am, we don't have to use that formula which they have given, that difference is m by 2 raised to power n plus 2.
They have given this formula xn plus 1 minus xn. So that is a formula, na? And this is less than your tolerance.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, because you have to find the accuracy up to you have to find the root up to the accuracy epsilon here.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you मैम.
Okay.